Fantasy Football Show. My name is Danny Heifetz. I am joined by Danny, Kelly, and Craig Horlbeck, and Sunday of Week 4 is over. If you want to know who to add, who to drop, we have our waivers episode coming Monday night, afternoon-ish, Tuesday morning, depending where you live in the world. Right now, we're going to get to Sunday, all the games we just saw, starting with Sunday Night Football. The Bills just beat the Baltimore Ravens just beat the bejesus out of the Buffalo Bills, who have not lost a game by more than 6 points in 3 years. DK, what did you make of this game?
Yeah, it was a absolute beatdown. Derrick Henry is incredible. I can't believe he's still doing this at like 30 years old. It's incredible. It's really, really fun to watch. First play of the game, he just rumbles for a 87-yard touchdown. Not first play of the game. Was it the first play of the game?
It was his first.
Snap.
It was the Ravens' first play of the game.
It was his third longest run.
The longest run in the history of the Baltimore Ravens, too.
It's wild. So it was just dominant game for them. And like you said, Shield pointed this out. The first time they've lost by more than 6 points in 3 years. Like they'd been a very,
I also
very
pointed that out earlier.
Oh, is that you? Okay.
Yeah.
Good job.
It was me. Like a minute ago.
No. I'm reiterating what you said and giving credit to Shield.
You got it.
Anyway.
You stole it from Shield.
I stole it from Shield and then called DK out for not attributing it to me who stole it from Shield. That's good.
Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely been times where I don't listen to you, so I get it, but I did hear you the first time. Yeah.
DK, what is that Seahawks statistic? The early 2010 Seahawks had a very similar stat to this, where like they didn't lose by a touchdown. Every game was within a touchdown for 3 years or something.
Yeah, it was that 2012 to 2015-ish era. I can't remember how many it was, but it was like a streak of several years where they never were blown out. And it's just like, I think it just speaks to the competitiveness of the team, like how balanced they are. They're always in it every game. And that's what the Bills have done over the last couple of years. So I think just that makes it that much more impressive what the Ravens did. So
35-10, the Ravens won it again. It was 21-3 at halftime. Honestly, amazingly, should have been way worse. The Ravens kept screwing up. Derrick Henry fumbled the ball at the goal line and then he got the ball. John Harbaugh had the bizarre timeout thing where they
didn't have any timeouts. Yeah.
He didn't call any timeouts, and he was just like caught on camera being like, oh, he was just so mad at himself. But at 35-10, you mentioned Derrick Henry, 24 carries, 199 yards, and a touchdown. If he had just not fumbled, he would have had the 200 on the
199,
darn. I have to. Roger Sherman, our former colleague here at The Ringer, absolutely nailed it. He tweeted out, and I quote, "Derrick Henry is going to be the last running back in the Hall of Fame, a god of a religion this world stopped worshiping."
Henry is the best. He's so unique.
Yeah.
Doesn't he feel like at times he feels like the most untackleable, dominant freight train in the league? And then there's like other carries where he looks like a tight end
slowest
stuck
player
in the mud.
on the field. It is very weird. There's a huge contrast.
Robotically runs into a guy 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and you're like, is this guy a bottom 5 running back in the league?
It's funny because like he's really kind of just like Tony Pollard, but like big because he's in like 3rd and 1. He's kind of like awful.
Yeah.
Somebody retweeted a tweet from 2016. I think it was Derrick Henry's rookie season where it was like some story in Tennessee where it was like Derrick Henry struggling a lot with his footwork. You know, it's like it's so funny to see way back then. Like people didn't realize how great he was going to be. And he didn't do anything for his first couple of years.
Yeah. But it's funny that when he got tackled on that play to the 2, I was like, there's no way he's scoring because he's terrible in the short yardage. And then I don't know, but I was amazed. He is going to be the last running back in the Hall of Fame. I think that that's not hyperbole. I was looking, someone tweeted out a list of
what? McCaffrey.
Yeah, I guess McCaffrey will make it, but like we'll see who's going to retire first, McCaffrey or Derrick Henry.
He might retire next week. McCaffrey.
Someone had a list of just active running backs on the way to 10,000 rushing yards, and Ezekiel Elliott is like at like 8,500. Alvin Kamara and Aaron Jones are at like 6,500. Like they're not.
It's not fair.
Like 30. It's not even close. But like I like if Zeke
they should do scrimmage
get to 10K,
yards.
Yeah, of course. But I thought it was interesting. Like the last running backs to hit 10 because McCaffrey's got Achilles tendonitis at 29. I think Derrick Henry, Zeke. I don't know the next guy's ever going to do it at this point. It's
Saquon's not doing it. I assume you would think.
Well,
unless he has a really big renaissance in Philly, I suppose you're right. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. Shout out to Derrick Henry, last of dying breed. Shout out to the Ravens. Yeah, it was pretty crazy performance. Actually kicked the crap out of the Bills. So yeah, that was amazing. And then anything else in Sunday Night Football you guys want to hit or?
The only thing I was thinking about watching this game was that Lamar, after this tough game for Josh, if you think about the top 5 quarterbacks that were going in drafts, that tier we created, right? It was Mahomes, Hurts, Josh Allen, Lamar, Anthony Richardson. Like Lamar is clearly the guy once again this year. Like, to me, I would take him number one probably if I were to redraft right now. And like Hurts is really struggling. Mahomes, that offense is a weird situation we'll get to. Anthony Richardson, another bag of worms. And then Josh Allen tonight, you kind of really felt like Stephon Diggs was needed. And Lamar having his specific capabilities and like how he can kind of tailor an offense to him, it just once again feels like Lamar's the best quarterback in fantasy.
Yeah.
Other than Jayden Daniels, who we'll get to.
We'll get to, I will say, before we move on, we do have to hit this. Mark Andrews, one target that he dropped. So he finishes with 0 catches for 0 yards.
It's rare when I'm like, I could have caught that. It's a rare feeling, but that was one of them. It's like twice a year, I'm like, I could have done that.
I randomly, first of all, when he dropped that pass, I got about 40 tweets just talking about getting an ick from watching Mark Andrews. So I guess I have a thing now. It's a bit for me.
Dude, that's the meme of like my birthday, like 3 texts. Mark Andrews drops a catch he should have caught. It's like 50 texts.
Also, somebody faved a tweet from like 2022 of mine where it said Mark Andrews ... what? And then it was Denny Carter going, he just volleyball setted that into the stands. I'm like, oh, I didn't even come up with that. It was Denny. So congrats to Denny and props to Denny.
You did the thing I did with the shield.
Yeah, I stole it, essentially. I didn't even know I stole it until now.
I gotta steal something. I'll steal something by the end of the show.
What are we stealing?
So Mark Andrews, we could talk about this more on Monday in the sober light of day, but in the heat of the moment on Sunday night, I won't tell you to do this, but you could probably cut Mark Andrews. I won't endorse that. You shouldn't do that. But like, if you want to, you can. Yeah. Don't do that, but you can cut him. Right?
He and Mark Andrews have combined for 1 catch? I mean, sorry, he and Isaiah Likely have combined for 1 catch each of the last 2 games. Is that right? Is that possible?
I just look. I think Mark Andrews will probably be good in like 6 weeks, but he's barely playing.
I'm looking at the stats right now for True Media. Sometimes the snap counts and the routes get adjusted as the later in the week. So just bear in mind this. Take it with a grain of salt. He ran 8 routes. Mark Andrews did. It's just not going to get it done, guys.
No, it's not.
It's just not going to get it done. 8 routes, 1 target, 0 catches. Likely had 12 routes, which isn't a lot either. one catch for 26 yards. He had a great block.
One of those years we should do a league that gives points for drops.
The bad tight end league. That's like the only way we're going here.
Wait, should we do points per routes for tight ends?
Jesus.
Point per route league. Oh my God. All right. So, all right, Pete, everyone knows it. Mark Andrews. I'm sorry. Okay, let's get into just winners and losers here. DK, who is the winner of week 4?
I think obviously the Commanders offense, like what they are doing, Jayden Daniels, Cliff Kingsbury, the Commanders offense. We truly haven't seen this anywhere basically since the 1970s, like in terms of their success rate, their efficiency, their scoring, just everything they're doing. Cliff Kingsbury and Jayden Daniels, rookie quarterback, are absolutely breaking football right now. It's incredible. So I think, we just have to shout out the Commanders because what they're doing is, like I said, truly historic. Like if you look at Dan Pizzuta, who was at the combine, they messed up his ID and it was Daniel Pizza, which I just love.
Yeah. Danny Pizza.
Anyway, our buddy Dan Pizzuta pointed this out. The highest EPA per dropback, the only team since 2000 with a higher EPA per drive through 4 weeks was the 2007 Patriots. Like what's generally acknowledged as the greatest offense ever, maybe, is the only team that has a higher EPA per drive through 4 weeks than the Washington
and you stole
Commanders.
that stat from Danny Pizza, who took it from Craig.
Yeah.
Right.
They have 23 scoring drives and 19 incomplete passes.
Who do you think
they punted 4 times all year and 1 turnover?
I know, 4 incompletions today.
Insane.
For Jayden.
So Commanders. So they wall up the Cardinals. Washington beat Arizona 42-14.
Yeah, my bad.
And the Cardinals scored on the opening drive. The Cardinals scored 7-0, and then Washington scored 27 unanswered points to make it 27-7.
Who do you think was a bigger winner today, Heifetz? Cliff Kingsbury or Jayden Daniels?
Jayden's a bigger winner on the season because he's Jayden Daniels and he's famous and Cliff Kingsbury got the game ball because he was the coach, obviously the Cardinals, and they gave him the game ball after the locker room and all the players went nuts. And I'm not going to lie, I'm such a sucker for that.
Yeah.
I love when there's like a great game ball giveaway after the game because Quinn was just like Cliff, and everyone's like, ah!
Dude.
And then he was basically they edited it, which is how you know he gave a great speech.
You gotta
actually cut out what he said.
You gotta watch this video. We found the person that swears more than me. Dan Quinn he dropped about 16 F-bombs in like a 30-word like speech. Yeah. It was incredible. Just the pure just unbridled swearing in that speech. I was very impressed by Dan Quinn.
But so what's awesome is that for the first time in how many years, the Washington football team has culture and has good vibes. And this feels like a team that likes each other and likes the coaching staff and the ownership group. And like, this is all working and coming together. Like, this is everyone's dream when you're one of the worst franchises in the league. Like, this is kind of exactly how you dream it goes.
This is what Washington fans were wistful for, what they missed with the Robert Griffin III knee injury. This is what they thought they would be getting. And it's pretty incredible to watch a fan base that has just been absolutely screwed by ownership and by all this stuff to actually just get the nostalgia. It's like the Office quote of like, you ever wish someone would tell you you're in the good old days when you're in the good old days, and like the RG3 stuff was taken from them. And you're like, right, they're back there, and it's crazy. I mean, just a couple, you mentioned this, Jayden Daniels, these stats are unbelievable. So our own Austin Gale here at the Ringer tweeted this one out. Jayden Daniels has the highest completion rate on throws 10 yards downfield by rookie in the first 4 weeks of the season since at least 2006. That's 71% on deep throws alone. 71% was the record for like completion percentage period, like just a few years ago. He's 71% of deep passes. Overall, Jayden Daniels he's completed 82% of his passes, 82% of passes, which is the most to ever start a season through 4 games. Not for a rookie, just the most to ever start a season period through 4 games. And the other one that was insane was this one I couldn't believe. 82% is the highest completion percentage in a 4-game span in any season since the merger, with at least 100 attempts. Here's the leaderboard. Number 3 is Tom Brady in 2007 when they went 16-0. Number 2 is Peyton Manning in 2008. And then number 1 is Jayden Daniels in 2024.
Wow. Heifetz, I've talked to you about this before. Sometimes football looks really hard for like a team. It's like, wow, they can't do anything. They can't even barely complete a pass. And then sometimes it just looks so easy. Right now, the Commanders, everything they're doing is so easy. I think that's like the biggest takeaway I have from watching this offense with Jayden Daniels. And, you know, they've gotten really good play out of a bunch of guys. Like, I think, you know, Brian Robinson, McLaurin, like everybody looks really good in their specific roles, but everything just feels so easy. It's like Jayden Daniels just sits back there, picks apart a defense. If he's not got a guy open, he just runs it, gets it to 20-yard, scramble. Everything is just coming so easy to them. It's really, really impressive.
They felt unstoppable last week against the Bengals. Yeah. Same thing today. And it's not like Jayden's working with like the best supporting cast in the league. I mean, this guy's working with Olamide Zaccheaus, was the leading receiver today for them with 85 yards. Like they got James Conner and Trey Benson at running back. Their tight end is Zach Ertz. Like they got a rookie in the slot, Luke McCaffrey. They got Noah Brown. Like, this is not like some high octane crew that he's working with. It's pretty impressive.
Our boy, never mind. Jahan Dotson. I wish Jahan Dotson was still on this team. Why did they have to trade him away? He can't buy a catch on the Eagles.
I have to file this under clearly they know what they were doing. I don't know how I could criticize anything during this point. The last thing, Washington, we're going to be talking about Jayden Daniels and Washington all season and everything. Just before we move on, DK, just between us, no one's going to hear this. Just between us gals. It's early. You know, we can't draw any conclusions.
I think I know where you're going with this already.
Yeah, it's early. It's 4 weeks. It's no one's just between us.
No.
Come on.
No.
Should Chicago have taken Jayden Daniels?
No.
I'm just saying. I'm just asking. No one's going to hear this. I didn't even ask. It's hypothetical.
If you are Washington right now and they offer you Caleb Williams for Jayden straight up,
that's the question.
No, they're not taking it.
No, they're not.
Washington's not taking it.
No, they're not doing it.
DK, do you think they should?
In the words of Bill Simmons, who says no? Washington says
Washington says no.
Also,
it'd be the most cursed decision ever. It probably would like work out terribly for them. But yeah, no, I don't know. Obviously, he's been significantly better than Caleb Williams.
If you're building your mock draft again right now, who's
won?
If I'm
Yes.
choosing, I'm still
Yes.
choosing Caleb Williams.
You know what's crazy? 8 days ago, people were talking about this, and I was like, what fucking idiots. I can't believe anyone would ask that question 2 weeks in the
One
season.
more game. It's like, all
8
right, it's
days.
time.
Monday to Sunday, and I'm like,
Here's what I will say. I regret not ranking him way higher in fantasy because all the signs were there. Heifetz, you were all over this in the preseason. Like, I think he was one of your biggest like flag plants in the preseason. And I mean, yeah, I just wish I had gone way harder in terms of like the value he brings to fantasy because he's just running all over the place. Dicing teams up through the air too, which is it was always sort of the thesis of why he has such a high upside is because he can do both. He's not just, running quarterback. He's a running quarterback who also can throw deep.
The other, so we'll be talking about Washington all season. The other person that crushed it this season was Craig, was all over Rashee Rice for the Chiefs, which was like the best pick you probably could have made there with Jayden Daniels all season. Unfortunately, likely torn ACL for Rashee Rice today.
Brutal.
I mean, is he the loser, Craig, or is he the Chief? Is the Chiefs the losers? Rashee Rice the loser?
They're both the losers. I'm the loser. My fantasy season's ruined, and I hate fantasy. I
ruined.
Really do. It's the fucking worst. You try to land on guys you want. You try to get steals. Rashee Rice is really working out. My 3 favorite guys this year: Rashee Rice, Cooper Kupp, Josh Palmer. 2 of those 3 got hurt after playing great, and then Josh Palmer's a bust. So it's just the worst. And also the way in which Rashee Rice got hurt couldn't have been more fluky and unlucky and ridiculous. First quarter, 5 minutes into the game, Mahomes throws a horrible pick. Of course, Rashee Rice, being a good player, chases after the defender, actually strips him. And then as he's falling,
he forced the fumble on that
He forced
play.
the fumble and then fucking flies into Mahomes' back, hyperextends his knee, and now everybody's assuming he
no
tore
good
his
deed
ACL.
goes unpunished.
Right.
I will say, I don't know if there's ever been a play like that in NFL history. Like a lot of quarterbacks have indirectly gotten their teammate hurt. Do you think a quarterback has ever taken out his best receiver's fucking knee before? I bet that's never happened.
Probably hasn't.
Like, it's so weird that Patrick Mahomes kind of iced the Chiefs season.
I just
trying to make a tackle.
They're not done though.
He iced my season. Dude, I don't know. The Chiefs offense now, they were already in a weird spot. They won 17-10 today. They put up 17 points. Their first red zone trip was in the third quarter. I don't know, man. They don't have Rashee Rice is probably out for the year. Hollywood Brown's out for the year. Pacheco's out for a while.
Mm-hmm.
This is the worst receiving core the Chiefs maybe have ever had in the Mahomes era. I mean, they're now
they lost
working with...
Yeah, so
worse than last year?
Well, but now it is last year's. It's just you have it's Worthy instead of Scantling. So it's like
Rashee Rice, right?
Worthy's better than
But now you have
Scantling.
this new iteration of Kelsey, who looked better today, admittedly. But now it's like you have 35-year-old Kelsey, and now you have this team that was originally dependent on Hollywood Brown and Rashee Rice, and now it's Justin Watson, rookie Xavier Worthy, the corpse of Sky Moore, and
Sky Moore coming in.
Sky Moore dropped the pass right through his hands today.
Yeah. In his hands.
Would have been a third down conversion.
It looks so much funnier because Sky Moore wears 24, and when you come in like on red zone, you assume the Chiefs are on defense because the guy wearing 24 just dropped the ball.
Why doesn't he change his number?
Dude, I don't know. It
changed the vibes.
It's so bizarre.
Dude,
I think
they're running the ball with Kareem Hunt and Carson Steele's like out of the mix now. It seems like they're committing to Kareem Hunt. I just don't know what their identity is anymore. I was looking at how many points the Chiefs scored this year, last year. The Chiefs have only reached 30 points or more 3 times in their last 26 games.
Yeah, no, they're not fun. Kansas City 17-10. They beat the Chargers, but not very convincingly. It was 10-10 till the very end. The Chiefs haven't been very fun to watch on offense for a long time. And it's crazy, as you said a while ago, like the Chiefs are a TV show that's just been on too long. It's like The Office, kind of make it with Robert California. And like there's moments, but for the most part, it's not the same as it was.
I think a lot of this though, sometimes, not always, and I'm not saying they're perfect, but like having a really good defense changes the calculus of how you play offense. And I feel like for a long time,
you only get shitty players. Yeah,
for a long time they were like, we got to score as many points as we can, and they did. And now they gave up 10 points to to like a really beat up Chargers team. And they just were like, we're going to go win this game, ball control, do our thing, and trust our guys to execute down the stretch. And they did that. And they've been doing that for a couple of years. And by the way, they've won two straight Super Bowls doing that. I mean, their offense was better before, but still.
We'll get to waivers and how to replace Rashee Rice in tomorrow's
brutal
show.
for Rashee Rice.
It is. I also bet Darius Slayton
I was like
Giant.
sad. I was truly sad.
It's just devastating.
I bet Darius Slayton on the Giants is going to be a Chief by the end of October. But we'll talk about Rashee Rice and how to replace him in fantasy on tomorrow's show.
Is that supposed to inspire confidence? Am I supposed to be excited about Darius Slayton on the Chiefs? What is that supposed to do to me?
I think he'll immediately be their second best receiver. Yeah,
what's that supposed to do to me?
You mean other than Kelsey or Worthy?
No, like other than Worthy. I think he'll be their. Okay. I think Darius Slayton will start for them.
I like Slayton.
Wait, are you just making this up, or do you have like a
no? It's not like an informed source thing. I'm saying that if you look around the league of who is the best affordable receiver you could get for like a 5th round pick, like I think it's Darius Slayton.
Maybe he didn't tear his ACL. We don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, no, maybe. Yeah. We'll see. All right, my loser is the Jets and the Jets fans. And particularly all the Jets fans who went to this game in the Meadowlands and were rained upon to watch the Jets lose to the Denver Broncos 10-9, which what a cursed sentence. Bo Nix won with 60 passing yards.
That's unbelievable.
Fewest passing yards at a win for a quarterback in 18 years, which
damn.
Yeah, that
Who was it? Who was 18 years ago?
Eli Manning.
Was it?
Got that from Ben Solak via Craig Horlbeck, yeah. I have defended Robert Saleh for years as the head coach of the Jets. Tough game for Bob Saleh. I got to just say, from Joe Caparosa of Turn on the Jets, I'm just quoting a tweet he had at length because it was incredible and tortured Jets fans, Joe. Sorry, I'm literally choking on my words.
That's just so disgusting. Swallow a bug.
Christ. Sorry, the Jets are trying to
You're like my mom who chokes on her own like saliva.
Choking on my words. That's what I get for defending Robert Saleh. Joe Caparosa, in a 1-point loss, the Jets had their best edge rusher lineup offsides twice. The running back false started twice. Their new left tackle had a false start and a hold. They couldn't convert a touchdown from 1st and goal at the 1 when they had a 230-pound alien at running back who couldn't get on the field. Defensive linemen melted in the second half because in part they traded for a guy who didn't show up from training camp. Their starting receivers false started twice, and they were throwing back shoulder fades to the smallest receiver on the team, lining up at X, and they also had an ineligible man downfield twice. And then Breece Hall had 4 rushing yards and then 4 combined drops and flags. So you know what? Not a great day for the Jets. And then Bob Saleh comes out and says, maybe we should hard count less Aaron Rodgers. And Aaron Rodgers comes out and says, basically, why don't the guys who have false starting stop false starting? And I'm like, you know what? Kind of with Rodgers. So not a great day for the Jets. Not a great day to be rained down upon.
I did see Sean Fennessy retweet something he tweeted on September 9th. So I have this on the record. I think the Jets season will be an epic disappointment. Everyone will be fired at its conclusion, and Aaron Rodgers will retire. That came up on my timeline today.
Whoops-a-daisy.
Yeah.
It was raining. Come on.
Yeah. 60 yards for Bo Nix. What a loss. All right, Tika, who's your loser of the day?
Oh, I just wanted to add this in real quick. Klein Kubiak. Klein Kubiak, who is currently a scout for the Cowboys. We might have jumped to conclusions a little bit after week 1 with the Saints, or week 2, whatever it was. The Saints are kind of just the Saints again. I don't know.
So you're saying that because the Saints offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak is now immortal, the Cowboys scout Kubiak will not get a job.
Yes. Thank you for explaining that. If you didn't hear the earlier stuff that we were talking about. Yeah, basically, I think the Saints were a red herring to start the year, and the actual like fantasy murderers are the Commanders in a good way. I mean, like positive,
right? Like the Alabama receiver kill everyone, but like parentheses complimentary.
Right.
Yeah. Got it.
Complimentary.
Yeah, complimentary. Kill everyone. The memes of the Bama receiver next to the guy with like the Psalms line, like good cop, and then next to the other guy, kill everyone. It's like
the duality of man. Yeah, I saw that.
All right, I am become death Oppenheimer Award. Craig,
Justin Fields. We took the L. They lost by 3 to the Colts, and I got to say it didn't look great to start the game, but second half Fields came alive. 32 fantasy points, number 1 quarterback of the day.
Want to explain what you texted me at halftime?
What did I say exactly? I was like, I'm not enjoying the Justin Fields.
You said, why
experience.
The fuck did you tell me Heifetz to start Fields over Goff?
Yeah.
He's like, I have such post-nut clarity on this.
Yeah. Look, we got the full Fields today, I think. What I was saying this whole season, I was like, sure, the Steelers are 3-0. I want to see what the Steelers look like when they're down 14. Well, they were down 14, and Fields looked generally okay, I would say. He still can't get through a game without muffling a snap. He really needs to figure that out. But most of his passes were actually accurate and good, and he looked good with Pickens. He ran for 50 yards, 2 touchdowns. He kind of clawed them back into this game, and he looked pretty good. Even though we lost, the defense got shredded by Joe Flacco. But yeah, Justin Fields, I'm still thrilled with this experiment, and it looks like in fantasy, man, this is working. Heifetz, you called this. As the season goes on, Fields is going to run more and more. He ran more today.
Yeah, and then speaking of Joe Flacco, I feel like it's so over, we're so back. We got Joe Bacco over there.
Yeah, Joe. Yeah, sure. Joe Bacco. Yeah, he ruined another quarterback situation, didn't he? He ruined the Browns last year. They literally had to get rid of him because it would be awkward in the room because he's better than Deshaun Watson. And I feel like he's not going to be in the Colts next year. He might not be there in 3 weeks because he's probably better than Anthony Richardson. So I'm excited to see what team he's shipped to next year.
That was so weird where Richardson got hurt and he was first of all holding his hip like he's in like an ambulance commercial. There's no ambulance commercial. What the fuck was I just trying to say? I don't know.
What were you trying to say?
Anthony Richardson looked like he was in a Life Alert commercial, like he was holding his hip and writhing on the ground. And
then fallen and I can't get up.
I looked at my phone to text you guys that I want to like walk into the sea because that's happening to him. And then I look back up and he's in the game writhing from a different play.
Why did he?
He's down again.
He came back, and then it was. I think it was a read option. He kept the ball and ran it.
Yeah, they send it back
fucking
in.
Hand the ball off, Anthony.
Why
what are we doing?
Why'd you go to read option with the guy who just had a hip injury?
And then he like wilted 3 yards into the play, and then never came back. And then
yeah. He kind of looked like Burrow sliding. It was actually it was concerning.
But anyway, yeah, Flacco's back. We're so back.
Flacco coming in and just immediately just completing a bunch of passes, and you're like, "What?"
He completely revived Michael Pittman. Had a career or a season high 113 yards. Josh Downs look awesome.
Yeah, Josh Downs would catch 130 balls if Flacco was the starter.
I think, frankly, like when Andy Dalton and Flacco come in and just look awesome, and I know that Flacco's not necessarily looking great as much as he's just doing a bunch of checkdowns and stuff, but I feel like it makes our entire generation look terrible. Like all the young, I guess we're not young anymore, but like all the young quarterbacks, like
they're
really
like influencers, and everyone's like, get a job.
Yeah. It's just like, you know what? Maybe the millennials should stop buying coffee and eating avocados and like they'd be able to go home. You know, it just makes all of us look terrible when
like for most of the bad offenses in the league, this is like what Chris Ryan was complaining about 2 weeks ago. It was like, man, it would be kind of nice if a lot of offenses just kind of had Joe Flacco.
Yeah. It's just like, that's
where are we at?
For all of us. Yeah.
It's like Joe Flacco's whatever.
That status. DK, we're so over. Who's back?
DeAndre Swift, right after we put him in the freaking burn book last week, had like the best day, maybe of his career, one of his best games ever. He had more scrimmage yards in the Bears 24-18 win over the Rams than he did in weeks 1 through 3 combined by a lot. He had 165 scrimmage yards today, and he had 114 in the prior 3 games. I don't know. I guess this is just what I get for putting him in the burn book. It's my fault. He also looked really good.
He did.
Like, honestly, I guess like even NFL players can vary dramatically from week to week in a job like that is considered usually more consistent as a running back. Like you're just running a lot, and he looked awesome. He looked way more explosive than he did in the other 2 games. And
Can we tweet that out?
He made
even
some
when you're
incredible
running
plays.
Back, you're just like running a lot.
Well, I mean, like, you know what I mean?
Like you're like, man, I get why this guy's paid to run professionally.
Yeah, right. This is why he's paid millions and millions of dollars to run really hard. And
every
fast.
once in a while, he runs well.
He did, and he ran like the wind blows in this game.
We're back.
I mean, he also had more catches than any other person on the team. He had 7 catches for 72 yards. He led them in receiving as well. So I don't know what to do with DeAndre Swift. He's probably going to have like 2 points next week. But
see, this is okay. You are allowed to be in the burn book if you are the type of player that pops off every month or so. That actually qualifies you to be in the burn book. That is why actually you are in the burn book.
Right.
So that's okay. That's part of the profile.
So
anyway, he looked good running today.
I just lost my mind when he's $12 million. Just that guy runs. Yeah, no,
look at him run.
That guy runs.
Can I add a second? We're so back.
Please.
We're so back. Kyle Pitts sucks. We're so
left.
back.
We never
left. 2 tight
left.
ends who outscored Kyle Pitts in a live. That award is so back.
Oh my
and
God.
I would like to do it for you guys right now.
How many do you want me to tell people how many points Kyle Pitts had today?
Sure. Well,
0.
hold on. Take some. Oh, okay.
Oh.
I thought you were going to take some time, count up all his targets.
I'm so thrilled you made one, Craig. I actually made my own as well.
Okay, good. We can each do it then. There's plenty of options. Kyle Pitts, 0 catches, 3 targets, obviously 0 points. In the Falcons win over the Saints. I'm going to give you 3 tight ends. 2 outscored Kyle Pitts, 1 did not. Nate Adkins. What team is he on? Anybody know?
He's on I looked it up.
What team is Nate Adkins
the other
on?
day.
The Browns or the Broncos? I don't know.
Dolphins.
He's on the Broncos. Nicely
it's an orange
done.
one, yeah.
Number 2 here, Cade Stover. Real
Yeah.
person.
Yeah, he's on the Texans. Yeah.
Yep. And last, Jake Tongs?
Tongus.
Tongus.
Wait,
Sorry.
no, actually, I'm not sure about that. I don't know.
Okay. So Nate Adkins, Cade Stover, Jake Tongs /
Oh, yeah, Shill
Tongus.
tweeted that out.
Yeah. Which one did not outscore Kyle Pitts?
I've never heard of Cade Tongus. I think that person is a concept.
It's Jake
It's fake.
Tongus. You just combined Cade Stover and Jake Tongus, which is totally fine.
Cade Stover's real.
It's kind of proving your point.
Totally
Jake
fine.
Tongus is fake.
They're all real, and Jake Tongus tied Kyle Pitts today with 0 points.
All right.
Although there is a silver lining to today, Kyle Pitts did actually outscore somebody at tight end with 0 points. He outscored Mike Gesicki, who had 1 catch for -9 yards.
No, not in full PPR. He had -9 yards with a catch. So in full PPR, he outscored him, even though he lost 9 fucking yards.
Okay, right. In half PPR and in standard, Kyle Pitts did outscore somebody with 0 points.
I have to.
So it's not all bad.
I can't believe this is real. I actually came up with completely different names. I would like to throw out 3 different people. Zayden Ryerson,
Come on.
Blake Whiteheart, Drew Ogletree.
The first one's fake.
Are they all fake?
Zayden
Drew
Ryerson,
Ogletree scored a touchdown for the Colts today.
Oh, right.
Whiteheart.
Blake Whiteheart, and
was
Zayden
he,
Ryerson.
was he on the Bears?
Blake Whiteheart outscored Kyle Pitts today?
One of those is the lead of Iron Flame, which is
Okay.
a
Yeah, I was gonna
fantasy,
say.
like a romantasy novel. Zayden Ryerson and Blake Whiteheart.
Whiteheart sounds like an 80s like rock band.
You're thinking of White Snake.
Thanks.
Craig, which one do you think is fake?
I think
The first one is fake, I'm sure. Pretty sure.
I think Zayden Ryerson. I
Oh
would
yeah, Zayden Ryerson. Yeah, he's in Iron Flame.
Okay, what
Anyway,
team
yeah.
is Blake Whiteheart on again?
I don't know. Cleveland? I'm not sure. I'm not going to
I
look
saw
it up
him
out of-
score a touchdown today, I think.
Don't care. Anyway, Kyle Pitts sucks. Also, so Mike, Falcons
He's
coach
on the
Raheem Morris
Browns.
said after the game, stats are for losers.
Win.
And
Dub.
you know what?
This is something that crossed my mind today, and I know that this is not the first time anyone has ever brought this up, but I'm just like not really sure that Kyle Pitts is even good anymore. You know what I mean? It's been how many years now, and like we keep begging teams to utilize him differently. It's like maybe it wasn't Arthur Smith's problem. Like actually,
Vindicated says, I mean, look, the fact of the matter is,
maybe it wasn't his fault as much as I think it was.
A different
maybe
coaching
I'm
staff
the
is-
asshole. Actually,
we should do a Reddit "Am I the asshole?" post, and we should.
I
just
think I
write-
might actually end up being the asshole on this one.
I hated how they used this tight end, but then a different coaching staff came in, and it turns out they used it exactly like the old coaching staff.
Christ. So here's a positive. Coming into this game, according to Fantasy Points, he ranked second among tight ends in overall
Kyle Pitts or Blake Whiteheart?
Kyle Pitts
Okay.
on overall win rate on routes. However, his own team has decided that they don't want to use him as much as they used early in the year. So basically his snap rate has gone down 96 week 1, 72%, 68%, 65%. His routes have gone down each week.
I think he was at like 55. He's running basically half the amount of dropbacks he's running a route today.
And the worst here is he is a distant 4th on his own team in first read target rate. So he's the first read on just 7% of his routes.
I'm telling you, Darnell Mooney is like the guy.
Yeah,
Kirk Cousins is in love with Darnell Mooney.
It's Drake London, Mooney, and then Ray McLeod is doubling up Kyle Pitts.
I think
on
there's
first
the
read target
lesson
rate.
I think we should learn from Kyle Pitts is that when a player is really good at a really young age, that doesn't mean they will like be mature. And sometimes a ton of people telling you that you're really great when you're 21 it can be bad.
This all being said, I could see Kyle Pitts still having like a David Njoku type career where 2 or 3 years down the line he's doing really well. But I don't know. For the first time in a long time, or first time ever, really, I'm just like, maybe he's just not good. I don't know. We keep asking for coaches to utilize him and exploit his talent, but maybe he's just not as good as we thought he was. I know that's not like a huge novel thing, but yeah.
All right. Speaking of, we're so back to Kyle Pitts sucking. It's also it's so over for Nick Sirianni. Yeah. The coach, the Eagles. I can't believe what has gone down with the Eagles. So the Eagles were just blown off the field and embarrassed in the playoffs, and by the Buccaneers. And today they were just blown off the field and embarrassed by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Speaking of making it look easy,
and
Baker Mayfield was just dealing out there.
Talk about making it look hard, dude. Hurts. Everything he does feels labored now, man.
Yeah.
I know that they didn't have Lane Johnson at right tackle, and their record without Lane Johnson's terrible. They didn't have AJ Brown. They didn't have Devonta Smith. Don't care. It's crazy how bad this team looked in every possible facet, frankly. Like, it's actually insane. I mean, Jalen Hurts looked awful. Even just the details, like, Nick Sirianni, they gave Saquon 2 carries in the first 3 drives and went 3 and out 3 times, and then he would give a really salty answer about it. The special team, they have like Isaiah Rodgers, who's the kid I believe that was suspended for gambling. So a guy used to taking calculating risks was basically like he like decided to throw the gunner on the punt return into the punt returner.
Oh yeah.
And to be like, oh, yeah, I was trying to draw the flag. And then Sirianni's like, yeah, that'll happen every time. Like, complete disconnect on what they should be doing as special teams. Like, there's no command of detail anywhere. Like, everything was so sloppy. And I'm not saying Sirianni's can be fired tomorrow, but if that happened, I wouldn't even be remotely surprised. And he's not long for this world. And speaking of Shield, things we're stealing from Shield, I really don't think Sirianni will be a coach in the NFL next year. Yeah. I think he will be an advisor, or he will be in college. So
he'll be a big dom somewhere else, maybe.
Yeah, he's going to be the get on guy for the low energy coaches. He's going to push them on the field.
Who's got Sirianni's back? Like, who would be the guy who would hire Sirianni?
Nobody.
You know what I mean? Because like every coach that gets fired seemingly has a guy that they'll
Frank
like,
Reich.
Yeah, you can come over here and work.
What's he going to do? He's not going to be a quarterback coach. He can't speak to Jalen Hurts. All right, Craig. It's so over. We're so back.
I think it's so over for Doug Peterson, coach of the Jags. They lost again, 0-4. They're beating the Texans the whole game. They lost. They're 0-2 since making the switch to Trevor Bank Stadium. The Jags have lost 9.
Yeah, that's going to be like the Billy Goat of the Chicago Cubs. The Jags will be like, they haven't won a game since Trevor Bank.
Since they added the TR.
Although I guess they really haven't won a game with Lawrence since like November of last year. So
yeah, dude, they've lost 9 of their last 10 games. And then after the game in a press conference, they basically asked about play calling, and he was like, "Look, man, at the end, like when push comes to shove, like you can call the right plays, the players got to execute. So it's not all on us." And it was like, "Oh, this guy's cooked."
He's not wrong. However,
that's not something you need to say publicly.
Press conference 101 is like, don't blame the players.
I'm sure plenty of coaches are going home at night and being like, fuck, if only my guy could have caught that ball, everything would be different. You can't say that in the press conference. He literally said, as coaches, we can't go out there and make the plays. It's he pulled
a Giselle.
Yeah.
I can't coach the team and catch the ball and throw the pass. Yeah. That's you call it Doug Bunchen? Yeah.
It's a bummer though, because the Jags are kind of they got killed by the Bills last week, but the other 3 games were very, very close. And like there is a world where they're 3-1. So it is a bit of a tough beat. But yeah, Doug Peterson, Nick Sirianni, are they the 2 candidates for first coach fired right now? The 2 leaders?
Yeah. How do they pay that out if Schefter tweets it out in quick succession, but the paperwork's fired at it, like filed in a different order? You know what I mean?
That's interesting. Yeah. Does the tweet legally qualify as a like the firing?
Tweeted out, and then one team actually announced it. Yeah, like how does that even work? All right. Next up, we got a little farter Shart over here. And again, sometimes, a lot of players, don't play well on a given day. And we're like, all right, is this a fart? Is this something that, smelled pretty bad, but it's going to go away and everyone will get over it? Or is it a Shart, which, pretty serious. And
it requires you doing something different.
Yeah, you have to do something about it. Like, it's tough. And it's kind of a day ruiner.
Yeah.
DK. Breece Hall, running back for the New York Jets. Breece Hall had, let me double check here, 10 carries for 4 yards.
It's rough.
Is that a fart or a Shart?
I think it's closer to a fart.
Okay.
We're not in Shart territory quite yet, where we have to really sit back and look at our lives and think about what we're doing with our lives. You know what I mean?
Is Braylon Allen just better than him straight up?
No. So I think Braylon Allen is really good. and I'm excited about what Braylon Allen can bring. But if you look at, first of all, Breece Hall is like one of very few players in the NFL where I'm like, I'm not worried about how good he is. I think he's really, really good. You know what I mean? Like, if it was most other players, this kind of game, I'd be like, okay, I might be out on this guy. But Breece Hall is really good. He's really explosive. He's done it in the past. He's proven it before. He's still dominating snaps. He had twice as many snaps as Braylon Allen. And both Robert Saleh and Aaron Rodgers came out after the game and were like defending him really strongly. You know, Saleh was like, we're always going to lean on Breece. He's our workhorse back. Aaron Rodgers was singing his praises. I don't think Breece is bad. I think the problem with Breece is they're both good. Him and Braylon Allen are both good. And I just think maybe Braylon Allen is a little bit better at the type of run game that the team is doing right now, which is, and I was talking to Nate Tice about this, and credit to Nate for kind of pointing this out a couple of weeks ago. It's like the run game that the Jets have now is largely Aaron Rodgers dictating what's going on at the line of scrimmage and like checking to runs or checking to passes. He wants full control over the offense. And I think what that happens is it simplifies and sort of dumbs down the run game. So you don't have quite as diverse of a run game. And Aaron Rodgers also is not moving around. Like he can't move. So basically it's just downhill stuff. I know I'm probably simplifying it a lot, but I think that is a kind of a big problem, but at the same time, I don't think Breece is bad. I think Breece is a really, really good player, so I'm not freaking out about this quite yet.
Fart.
Sorry, I know that was long-winded, but
no.
Well, Breece had a long-winded fart today, so
he passed wind, if you will. But yeah, like I said, I think he's a really good player, so I'm not freaking out about this.
Heifetz, Bijan Robinson today received. This really was the Arthur Smith day. It's like his ghost haunted Atlanta.
I feel haunted.
Bijan Robinson had less carries today than Tyler Algier. This was a vintage 2023 performance. Tyler Algier had one more carry, had pretty much twice his yards. Bijan Robinson, fart or Shart?
It's a Shart.
Oh,
it's a Shart. Let me tell you,
I
think we were ahead of the curve telling people not to take McCaffrey with the first pick. But you know what? Breece Hall, Bijan Robinson, these are the people we said, like, take them at the top of the draft. You know what? I have a new memento tattoo for next year. Like something I'm going to tattoo on my body. I'm never taking an Atlanta Falcon ever again. I will never, as long as I fucking live, ever draft an Atlanta Falcon I will never root for the team. I will never watch any of the players with any stakes.
You want to know about the best part about the slow start for Bijan Robinson is for the second straight year, you could have accidentally drafted Brian Robinson instead of Bijan Robinson and actually be doing better.
Wait, like the guy who emailed us that he took Brian Robinson because it said B Robinson, and then all his friends arrested him, and then he like won the league because he did that.
Brian Robinson right now through 4 weeks is the RB7 in total points. He's averaging more scrimmage yards and has better success rate than Bijan Robinson, who is the RB18 in total points. Only scored one touchdown. Brian Robinson has just been better than Bijan Robinson.
This is the dumbest thing ever that we do. This is the stupidest job.
Oh, it genuinely is.
B-Rob.
This is like playing roulette every week for 18 weeks and needing to hit black every single time to win your league. It's just like, I don't know why you do it.
This is so dumb. Why do we do this? This is so stupid. B-Rob.
It's week 4. It's week 4, and we're examining why we do this.
B. Robinson. Jesus.
B. Robinson. Fucking second straight year.
Oh my god. All right. Real and spectacular. These are guys who, again, had a real game or a spectacular game, but is it real? Craig.
The Vikings and the Packers, both teams, I think, are real and spectacular. So we saw a little bit of everything in this game. We saw, the Kevin O'Connell offensive scheme, Darnold, they went up 28-0 in this game. Like, they were cooking. We saw the Vikings D, Flores putting the clamps on the Packers in the first half. Then we got to see like LaFleur's rebuttal, and they clawed back. We got to see Jordan Love. The defense the Packers defense started to do stuff in the second half, forced turnovers. There was a pick, fumble. So to me, like, what this game showed, one, it's like Love was coming back from an injury. He got better in the second half. To me, I'm like, are these just the best two teams in the NFC? This is now like the best division in the conference, in the NFL probably. And this is just super fun. This is like the best coached two teams in the league, I think.
Yeah. That game was like making up for all the other shitty shit that's kind of gone on in the season so far. I know at one point, Craig, you were like, I'm loving this or something. Like you're texting the chain and you were just like, absolute football nirvana right now watching this Vikings-Packers game.
But also, like, it's funny because when the Vikings were just curb stomping the Packers, we were like, wow, the Vikings are the best team in the league. And then, like, all the hyperbole that you felt just kind of, like, bled out and out as the Packers came closer and closer to coming back. But it's funny, too, that Jordan Love wore the Brett Favre jersey to the game and then had the most Brett Favre game since Brett Favre
3
played for the
touchdowns, 3
Packers.
picks.
No one's done. His stat line literally hadn't been done since Brett Favre was the Packers. And I'm like, I know that guy was just watching Brett Favre highlights.
It's like mostly his fault that they lost and also that they almost won.
Yeah, it's like the Homer Simpson alcohol thing. He's the cause of, and he's the solution to and cause of all Green Bay's problems.
Right. It's kind of like just like the Jameis Winston style of playing football. And I love it.
YOLO.
The 30 for 30 club.
Yeah, Minnesota's incredible though. Although I will say Darnold though, same thing where Darnold was like unreal in the first half of this game, and Darnold just kept making mistakes to bring Green Bay back in, and they won. But I'm like, if Vikings had lost, like Darnold kept doing dumb shit and like doing kind of like a little not. I mean, Lamar did too, but like they were just kind of like random turnovers where I'm like, dude, you're up like 4 touchdowns. Why are you doing this? But
I know. Yeah,
the teams are really good.
Totally. If you look at the box score too, you're like, wow, 29 points the Packers put on Flores in the Vikings defense. They really didn't. It was really basically 14. There was a muffed punt that basically led to a touchdown for Green Bay. And then there was a sack fumble from Darnold that gave the Packers the ball in the red zone. So this defense still basically let up 14 points today against Love and the Packers.
Flores is still on a heater. TK, anything else for real and spectacular?
There's one thing I want to point out is Pat Surtain is incredible corner. I think the Broncos defense in general is just really, really good. I know that we just talked about the Jets for a long time, but the Broncos defense is incredible. And if you look at what Pat Surtain has done through 4 weeks this season, going up against number 1 receivers, it's something we need to pay attention for fantasy because week 1, it was DK Metcalf. He put the clamps on him. Pickens, Mike Evans, and Garrett Wilson all really struggled against Pat Surtain. So next week they get the Raiders and then Chargers and Saints. So I don't know who the number 1 that we need to worry about on the Raiders and Chargers is because they don't have a number 1 currently. Devontae Adams is hurt, probably not coming back right away.
They'll probably have him shadow Palmer.
Yeah, when they play the Chargers.
Yeah.
Our boy Ladd. Maybe we just take a week off for Ladd that week.
I think Ladd's better than Garrett Wilson.
Oh, God.
That was my intrusive thought today.
There you go.
I just think Ladd McConkey is better than Garrett Wilson straight up.
I think this is like
very different styles, the two of those players.
Yeah.
No, he's just better. Yeah, one plays good football and scores touchdowns, the other doesn't. That's the style.
Come on.
You.
Nope. Well, just saying that was the intrusive thought. That and I'm never taking a Falcon again.
I really like that rule. Yeah.
Yeah. Best play of the day.
It's just like a DNA in some teams,
Yeah. Best play of the day. I had the George Kittle touchdown where he just leaped over the 3 Patriots like he was Calvin Johnson.
Strongest hands you've ever seen. That was incredible. It was also right after he got called for a really ticky-tack holding call that brought a touchdown back. So he was like, spiking it in the rest.
Is that the one where they hit Jordan Mason in the face with the flag?
Did that happen? I didn't see that.
They hit Jordan Mason in the face with the flag.
Insult to injury.
Yeah. Craig, what's your favorite play of the day?
I'm just giving it to the Alabama freshman wide receiver, Ryan Williams.
17 years old.
17 years old. That's like the best play I've seen from a wide receiver, maybe in my entire life. Odell catch.
17.
I'm like going to plan my entire dynasty league around drafting him in 2026. I'm starting now.
Yeah.
I'm tanking for Ryan Williams right now.
I love it.
If you guys haven't seen this, go on Twitter, YouTube it. Bama, Georgia, 4th quarter, Ryan Williams had the most incredible touchdown. He did like 2 pirouettes.
Mossed a guy and then basically got 2 guys turned around.
And then hit the Nos Tyreek Hill button for the final 20 yards. I've just never seen anything like that. He's the guy who had kill everybody on his eye mask. Yeah.
Is that right? That's awesome.
There were like 4 different things on that play where I'm like, this is the best receiver I've ever seen in my entire life.
But he has a really boring name, guys.
Ryan. I know, Ryan
but that makes it more impressive because everyone's like, this is the guy, and his name's not even cool.
You know what's nice, though? We don't have a Williams right now, do we, in at wide receiver in the NFL?
Mike Williams.
Oh, yeah, but
there's no Williams in his 20s, though.
We don't have like a really famous good Williams right now.
There's not even who is the best Williams in his 20s at receiver?
At receiver?
In his 20s.
I mean, we have Caleb Williams, obviously, at quarterback, but at receiver? It's good to always have a Williams. We don't have a Williams.
No, there's the screaming.
Have a Williams.
There's ghosts screaming at us
What
right
are you
now.
talking about?
No, there's ghosts
You
screaming.
need
that
to have
there's
a
good
Williams. You got to have a Williams, a
You
Jones.
need to have a
Smith.
Williams. Jameson Williams is currently in the
Oh.
NFL. He's
Oh.
former
All
Alabama
right.
player.
Oh, what? You had that in the bank this whole time? You just Googled that. I know you did. You would have said something
Who
if you knew that.
cares?
Yeah, you're admitting it. You
Yeah.
couldn't think of a Williams.
Admit it.
I didn't Google it. I just looked at the leaderboards. But yes, I had forgotten about that guy.
Yeah,
Right?
just saying. It's
But
nice
we
to
do have
it.
a good Williams. He's awesome.
Okay, fine.
I'm on Craig's side of that whole exchange from beginning to end.
It makes no sense.
Yeah, of course it does. I know
But
exactly
I love it.
what he's saying.
I'm not against it. I just think it's insane. It's deranged.
We
Need a good Williams.
We do.
It's true. I
You
know,
need
I don't know
that.
why. I know exactly what Craig's saying.
In what former era did we have like a great Williams that was
When
so
I was
important?
growing
Look,
up,
you need
we
a
had-
good
we had
Johnson. You need that's going to go in the sexual cut up. You need a good Johnson. You need a good Smith. You need a good Williams. It's a part of the fabric of American sport.
Back in my day, we had 2 Steve Smiths. We had 2 Roy Williams.
Damn
you know
straight.
What I mean?
We
That's
had
actually
Andre
true.
Johnson.
Like
you had Andre
Noah's
Johnson.
Ark.
You had Chad Johnson. That's what you
Goddamn
need.
right.
For a while.
You had Julio
Yeah.
Jones.
No, I agree. Ryan Williams is incredible. The Ohio State. Yeah,
you
no,
need
it's-
you need a good Johnson.
All right, worst play of the day. I feel like I feel like the actual worst play of the day is for Rashid Shaheed muffing a punt inside the 5, giving the Falcons
That was
a
a tough
touchdown.
look. Yeah.
And he handed the Falcons a touchdown on the punt return in a game they lost by like 2 points. So like that has to be the worst play of the day to me.
I don't think it's ever worth fielding a punt.
Well, I mean, he
Just
caught,
let
he
it
tried
go.
to catch it like a catch. He didn't back. He was like too lazy to back up, so he just tried to receive it.
If you need to
Instead
put
of-
your hands above your head, you're not catching a punt.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Like if you got to make a little W with your pinkies, then like leave the punt
Yeah, if you're
alone.
3 flies upping it, it's not going to work out.
However, I would like to do worst play of the day. What did you guys see the commercials for that show called? I had to write it down. Universal Basic Guys.
No,
I don't know what that is.
You didn't. Oh, well, we can move on.
they don't do
Does anyone-
commercials on NFL Red Zone.
Email me at ringerfantasyfootball@gmail.com. All right, we'll talk about this another time. One day you'll see
It
this.
was during the Saints game. They were playing that commercial.
No, all the games. Everything on Fox is
Oh.
Universal Basic Guys. And I thought I was having a stroke because it was like, I think I muted it. I refused to watch it, but it was like a commercial, an animated commercial that what I assume is 2 dudes in their 40s on Universal Basic Income.
I have no idea. We're in a weird place with ads now where like ads are getting trafficked. You're like getting trafficked ads based on your interests. So you ever have it when you're like watching a TV show on like Hulu and every commercial break is just the same ad?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh wait, here I'm looking up on IMDb. Brothers Mark and Hank Hoagies suddenly their last name is Hoagies suddenly find themselves without a job when the Glanton Town hot dog factory switches over to automation, but they are lucky enough because they will be part of a new Universal Basic Income program.
So there are hot dog workers that got laid off.
Yeah, it's
Hot
an
dog
animated
factory?
show about hot dog factory guys who just
Oh.
get UBI.
Okay.
That's on Fox. So that's my worst play of the day. Email us about Ringer Fantasy Football.
We should do, you know what we should do
about
every year? We should do first coach fired and first show canceled for the fall television season.
Ooh, that's
we
We
should
should do the Super Bowl props where they're like Celtics points versus Jameson Williams yards.
Yeah.
We should do. Does Doug Peterson make it longer than the Universal Basic guys? Like,
Yeah,
do
we
them
should
go
look at
longer.
the Fox, NBC, CBS, ABC. We should look at all their network shows for the fall and do first show canceled.
Dude, we should bring Bellany on to talk about that.
First show canceled's good.
Oh my God, we should bring Bellany on. That's right. Write that down.
Write that down.
Okay. Next, the Arthur Smith Award for coach that pissed you off. Other than, well, we might have to rename this now.
Yeah, I know.
this-
Arthur Smith Vindicated.
Arthur Smith Vindicated. Just put that in the title of the
the
episode.
curse of the Atlanta Falcons
It's
Award.
Arthur Smith.
I'm stupid. You're
You're
smart.
smart.
You're good looking. I'm not attractive.
This is the Daily Double of the one of the first Daily Double
Oh, yeah.
from Kevin.
Kev.
Kevy.
You found it.
Kevy.
He says Mike Tomlin has been in my life since I was 17. I'm 34 now.
Wow, that's a lot of formative
You
years.
put it like that. We had some good times along the way, but perpetually going 9-8 every year to get blown out in the wild card round has me feeling like Matthew McConaughey in the interrogation room times a flat circle. I know a lot of franchises would kill to have the success Pittsburgh has, but as I write this, Mike Tomlin is refusing to use his last time out on 4th and 11 with the game on the line and up. Yep, of course, we did not get the play. And I was also watching this live and I had the same thought. Craig, what on earth was Mike Tomlin? Why did they not take a timeout to get that play set? Because on the 3rd and 11 preceding it, they thought the clock would stop, and it didn't, and they were very frazzled. And I was like, take the timeout.
Yeah, I think like Freiermuth tried to get out of bounds, but they counted him inbounds, so that they were frantically freaking out.
Yes.
Yeah, and this was Nance Romo, right? Romo was completely confused. He was like, I don't know why they're not using a timeout here, Jim. I don't know why they're not using a timeout here, Jim.
I was going to say, how dare you say it?
Wait, was it Nance Romo? I thought that was Chiefs Chargers.
Was it not?
Oh, you're right.
Mind? You're right. No, you're right. Who was doing? I don't remember who was doing.
Olsen? I don't know.
Oh, maybe. Romo follows me wherever I go. But
you just
in your head.
It.
To be honest, Tomlin's never been good at clock management. Tomlin's never been good at challenges. He's never been good at 4th down decisions. Like this was par for the course for Tomlin, to be honest. This is like one of his biggest flaws.
I thought it was really bad. Worst referee moment. Hello, Thursday Night Football. I think I defend the refs the most on this show. Worst referee moment of the season.
Yes, good.
And I'm biased.
Good.
But I'm biased.
Let the hate flow through you.
It happened to the Giants. It's the worst referee moment of the season. Daniel Bellinger, the Giants tight end, San Diego State, Craig. Daniel Bellinger got face masked on the first drive of the game, and the refs got confused and they called it on Daniel Bellinger. And it wasn't like, oh, he was doing it too. It was he was face masked and they got confused and they just called it on him. And the Giants should have had.
Why can't they fix that?
I don't. It's what it's for. They've been.
This doesn't make any sense that they can't fix that.
Should have been a 1st and 10 at the 18, and it became a 2nd and 18 at the 48.
Wow.
So Jesus,
that's tough.
Worst moment. Oh,
we need there just needs to be one mulligan a game.
They do. No, they have the expedited replay. Like they have been doing it, and I can't believe on it. Look,
when everyone watching a game can see how blatantly wrong something is, they should just be allowed. The NFL should have a mechanism to change that.
Daniel Jones made too many mistakes in that game for me to say that it was the refs that cost him the game. But man, that was the worst call of the year.
Okay. I mean, it's good they lost though. My worst referee moment was late. So there's 3:40 left in the Broncos-Jets game. The Jets were winning at the time. Aaron Rodgers fumbled. The Broncos recovered, scored a touchdown, but the refs blew the play dead. Even though they very clearly didn't know he was down. It was just like, he looks down. So they blew the play dead, which it runs opposite to what I think they've focused on doing lately, which is letting a play out and then they go back and review it.
Like the Miami game.
Yeah, and
they did the Hail Mary, and they were like, we don't know, call the touchdown so we can just look at it.
Right. And the play, it was wrong. It was a fumble. The Broncos should have had the lead at that point. Instead, the Jets were able to punt because Sean Payton had 0 challenges at the moment, which is probably a whole nother story. But I don't know. But ultimately, the ball didn't lie at the end of the game. The Jets missed a field goal as time expired to lose. So, whatever. It made things harder for the Broncos. But man, that was what? It just annoys the shit out of me when these refs are in such a rush to call a play dead when it's very not clear what had happened there.
Yeah, remember the Lions game last week? Goff through the pick 6. They called it dead at the 2-minute warning.
God, yeah.
That was
some brutal calls. Anyways, that was tough.
Mine is, dude, late in the 3rd quarter in the Colts-Steelers game, Flacco threw a deep ball to the wide receiver. It was 3rd down. Minka hits this guy with his shoulder. Clean hit. Just hits him hard with his shoulder. They call unnecessary roughness. Gets the Colts the ball in the red zone. They end up scoring, going up 2 touchdowns, and essentially is the reason why the Colts won the game. And Minka was super pissed after the game. He's like, I don't even know what we're playing for anymore. It was as clean a hit as you can lay on somebody. It was just a hard hit. All the announcers were upset. It's one of the most annoying parts of football right now is these guys actively trying to follow the rules, and literally he is following the rule. He just hit him too hard.
What did they call a hit to the face and neck area or something like that? Because I thought that was another thing that was reviewable now.
And he didn't even hit him there. It was unnecessary roughness, I think.
Yeah, because I don't know. I feel and maybe I'm wrong on this, and I'm just misremembering. But I thought there have been times where they'll throw a flag for unnecessary roughness or whatever, and then they'll do an expedited review and they'll pick up a flag if it ended up being a clean hit. Am I wrong on that? I could be misremembering.
They do, but the expedited review is a really good thing and something we've been asking for forever. But I think when it's in the 1 o'clock window, there are 7 games.
New York is too busy. Come on.
There's a lot. Yeah.
Hire another guy. What are we doing
Daniel
here?
Bellinger, the Thursday Night Football is the only game going on. They
hire an extra guy.
That guy got face masks. Oh
they can't be that busy.
It was unnecessary roughness, and they went shoulder to shoulder, him and A.D. Mitchell. I just don't understand.
I already gave my ref thing. I have to just mention something that was all over today. Now, I think you have a bunch of players now doing celebrations that involve guns. Like Drake London did the thing with the Draco. And like, it's all the thing now. They shoot like basically modern day Tommy guns. And now, but it's gone a little far because Alan Lazard was called he did finger guns when he got a first down, little finger guns, and they threw the flag and put him back 15 yards. And I just have to throw out the double standard of, so Alan Lazard does finger guns and gets flagged. The Patriots, when they score a touchdown, there's a literal firing squad on the field. They shoot muskets on the field.
I mean, the Buccaneers shoot cannons.
The Buccaneers shoot cannons, and they score a touchdown. And then the players shoot an imaginary gun. They're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. What example does this set for the children?
Meanwhile, they got like fucking F-18s flying over the stadium beforehand.
Not to mention many other issues with players in the NFL.
I just love the idea of a firing squad like 10 feet away.
That's actually really funny. The Revolutionary War guys
standing there.
Maybe if instead of miming a Tommy gun, he mimes an old musket.
To like load the musket.
Yeah, maybe if he loads the musket, that's fine.
Biting the gun or the whatever it is. That
would actually be really funny if they
take 40 seconds to do it.
He's like, it's like, yeah, that's like a pipe cleaner thing in there. You're shoving in there. Yeah.
Wadding up the musket ball and putting it in there.
It's like an intricate process he's doing
takes him 4 minutes. He's got like something in his mouth. He's like, I don't even know what they do.
I would love that.
It's so good.
It's like Last of the Mohicans.
We should get John Wick movie in Revolutionary War where it's just him reloading really fast. Oh my God. All right. Lucille Bluth Award for I don't understand the stat line and I won't respond to it.
After the game today, after the Colts Steelers game, they interviewed Joe Flacco, and the reporter was like, Anthony Richardson says you're pretty cool. You're cooler than he expected. And Joe Flacco was like, I don't know about that, man. Anthony Richardson's mom is 8 days older than me.
Oh, wow.
Kind of blew my mind. He's like, so I'm definitely not cool.
8 days. Why does he know how old Anthony Richards' mom is?
Richardson told him that.
Oh.
He's probably like, yo, man, you're pretty cool. You're my mom's age.
That's like a rom-com.
Yeah.
Flacco seems like a chill dad. He seems like a chill guy.
Flacco has kind of done a turn late in his career where early on in his career, he had no personality and he was genuinely unlikable just watching him on the field. And now he's like a fun uncle kind of. He's changed his dynamic. He's changed his demeanor a lot. And I really like it.
He's gone full Mitt Romney.
He's likable though. I love it.
The McKay Coppins, who's this great writer for The Atlantic, did a profile of Mitt Romney, and he's just really sad about how he lived his whole life, like Massachusetts, Utah. His family's in Utah, but like he lives in DC, for the Senate, like during the week, and his wife basically was like, "I'm not doing that." So he lives alone so he's like, for the first time in life, he lives like alone in an apartment, and his dinners are just like he gets like frozen salmon from
like one fold out
Trader Joe's, and
he
just puts ketchup on frozen salmon and he thaws it, and that's what he has for dinner, like every day.
Jesus.
And sad life.
That's the Derrick Henry diet. Did you guys see that?
We
didn't talk about that last week.
Derrick,
did you see the thing about like Derrick Henry essentially has as strict a diet as like what Tom Brady used to do? No fried foods, no gluten.
Oh yeah,
nothing that's inflammatory.
Yeah,
no
nothing that's inflammatory.
Nightshades.
He does no dairy, no artificial sugars. He doesn't eat till like 2 p.m. every day.
Where did I see that they were going to get The Rock to come on Hot Ones, and then he asked if he could do salmon, and they were like, "What?
What is that real?"
I don't know if that was. I saw it, and I don't remember. It could be fake, but I saw it somewhere.
He asked if he could do sweet tea, and it was like, "That's too spicy."
Kind of go on Hot
Sorry,
Ones.
that was a Kai joke.
The Rock doing salmon.
All right, wait. We also have a double. We have a double. What's it called? It's really late here. Not Double Jeopardy. Daily Double.
Oh, do we? Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh. Found the other one.
This one is from Oh no, Kevin. It's from Kevin.
Kevin?
Wait, we already had a Kevin.
Oh no, then it's not from Kevin.
Maybe we didn't. I don't know.
No, we did. You're
You
right.
just Home Alone to that Kevin right there. Kevin?
It's from Joshua.
Joshy.
Bo Nix started this game with -7 passing yards. 0 for 8 on throws beyond the line of scrimmage. 7 for 7 behind the line of scrimmage. Sorry, God damn it. You know what? It's really
Start
late.
over.
He was 5 completions for you know what? Where
he
is
was
this?
I know it.
At halftime.
He was 7 for 15 for -7 yards.
And when you see that, that's net passing a lot of times where it's like including sacks. It wasn't including sacks. He just actually he lost 7 yards on the completions.
15 attempts, -7 yards.
That's like impossible.
When
I don't understand it, and I won't respond to it. All right, burn book time.
And the Broncos won, by the way.
yeah, done.
Broncos won. Burn book.
Kyle Pitts, book it.
Yeah,
Come on.
Like the
Is this the earliest we've ever put Kyle Pitts in the burn book?
I would
it's
love to
worse
know.
than ever.
Is it Pitts? Or is
This
it
of
Mark
all
Andrews?
years, he was supposed to be the chosen one.
But I would say this is the most our expectations have been disappointed in the last few years, right? Like last year, coming off the injury, Desmond Ridder, we were really pushing it back then to expect him to do well. This year it was like, like everything's different this year, and he's still shitting the bed.
And it's you know what? Because I think the Mark Andrews people are like, yeah, I'm like, yeah, it's been 3 weeks. Like the Kyle Pitts thing, if you're still on it at this point, it's such a kick in the nuts.
Also, there were warning signs to Mark Andrews. Like, at least the guy got in a car accident, and at least there's like another good tight end on his team.
Pitts, yeah. Well, sorry, Josh Norris at Underdog. Scott Bear, you know what? I'm so late. I keep forgetting everyone. Someone keeps joking that we should just call Darnell Mooney a tight end.
Right, we should.
Just to make ourselves happier. But like, it's so, there's no other word for it. It's so embarrassing if you have Kyle Pitts in your team.
You're in the
Like,
book.
it's humiliating.
Wait, have we not burned Mark Andrews too?
No, we haven't.
Oh. Can we do both? Or you only do
No,
one?
we got to
I
do
think
one.
we have to pick one. I think Kyle Pitts, like the idea of like putting someone in before Kyle Pitts. Like
Yeah.
Mark Andrews is more pressing because you paid more for him this year, but like
Also,
It-
I just
it's
don't-
humiliating. Like people
The
feel
Mark
bad for
Andrews
you if
thing
you Mark
is wild.
Andrews.
you're not embarrassed to say you drafted Mark Andrews.
Yeah, you got. Kyle Pitts, it's like you got yourself. It's
Mark
so
Andrews is like,
embarrassing.
look, unlucky. He's getting older. He had a car accident 2 weeks before the season. He's not playing well.
Literally, it's
If I
like if you have
drafted
Mark
Mark
Andrews,
Andrews, shame on me. If I drafted Kyle Pitts, shame on you. Or if you drafted Kyle Pitts, shame on you.
Yep.
Not gonna be shaming me anymore.
all right, won't get fooled again.
Yeah, well, not gonna fool me again.
All right, Kyle Pitts, you're in the bird book. We should name it. We should take Arthur Smith's name off the coaching award and put Kyle Pitts' name on the burn book.
It's some Falcon has to be the name.
Should
for
we
some
just
category.
burn the Falcons?
No.
No, it's Kyle Pitts.
Drake London's playing well.
It's Kyle Pitts. All right. Kyle Pitts, you're in the burn book. You are the burn book, Kyle Pitts. All right. Thank you everyone for listening. We have waivers show to help you with Rashee Rice and all these other injuries. Monday,
Nice.
Power Hour Wednesdays, which if you want to watch on YouTube, we do a live Power Hour Tuesday night. So you can watch that live on YouTube or here. Power Hours Wednesdays, previews Fridays. Rankings are fantasyfootball.3.com. Emails ringerfantasyfootball@gmail.com for trivia. And did we ask for something in this episode?
I don't think so.
know.
Oh, all right, cool.
Thank you for
Great.
everybody who emailed in and commented to make the daily double.
Yeah, emails for the Daily Double on Sundays in the future. We'll put that on Instagram and TikTok. Thank you, DK. Thank you, Craig. Thank you, Kai and Carlos, for producing this episode. Thank you, ever for help behind the scenes. Thank you, Lord.
Lord,
Thank you, Chris Christopherson.
I know. Rest in peace.
Yeah. All-time career, all-time life.
I never saw his Star is Born. Did you?
No.
Yeah.
And if I would be lying if I told you I was like a huge fan of his music, but I just like respect that. I know I sound like Hansel. I just respect that he's doing it. But like his career,
Talking about Sting.
yeah. Sting, Sting would be a hero of mine. I don't really listen to his music, but I respect that he's making it. But like, no, but really with Chris Christopherson, like this guy's had like an insanely awesome life. He was, he was a soldier. a movie star, a singer, like some of the most incredible things you've ever heard in your life. Like go read about his life. Pretty crazy. Also, my image of him as an actor was from the movie Blade. For some reason, did you ever watch the Blade trilogy
with Wesley Snipes? He's in Blade.
Yeah, I think so. Hold on, let me make sure I'm getting that right. Yeah, he was shit. What was his name in that? Whistler. Great character. I was thinking it was whiskey, but this Whistler. Anyway, I really do respect that he made it, and I wasn't.
Yeah, I'm not going to read anything about him, but I respect what he did.
Goodbye, everyone.